Good afternoon, Morgan, and welcome back to the channel. It's finally time now to give a bit of love to our Honda. There's a lot to be done, even though it looks like it's ready to get back on the road. But we're going to start off with the simplest of jobs. See that?
Yeah.
Look, that's not meant to do that. And as we travel through this little series, you can see they get more complicated as time goes on. But this piston wouldn't move. The seal is not sealing properly.
Then we will just like grind it off. You're already just like a pro in grinding, so.
Ta-da! Can you do angel noises? That's the bottom of the piston. Alright, Jordan, do you mind pulling the dipstick out? It's finally time. But enough talking, let's get started. Right, Jordan, we've got to disconnect the battery first because we're doing some electrical stuff. Can you see, will that go all the way?
Yeah.
Alright, you're taller than me. You wee bollocks. Right, I'm just going to disconnect the battery first because let's go inside and I'll show you why we're disconnecting the battery. Normally what you have to do is you turn this to put the lights on, but look what's happening to my stalk when I try to turn. The whole thing's turning, and that's because I think it's broken down here. See that?
Yeah.
Look, that's not meant to do that. In fact, it's about to fall off. So what I've been doing is holding this and doing that to turn the lights on and basically not flashing, because when you flash, it's broken. Now these things are really hard to get for this car because it's such an old model, but I bought one from a newer model and that's what we're going to go and have a look at now and see if it fits basically. So we just have to try it. So let's go and I'll show you the new one. I know I'm being a bit anal, Jordan, but it means I stopped losing tools and everything keeps... Yeah, I mean, do you know how long it took me to actually cut all that out? And that's just one of the drawers. And there's more here as well. But anyway, that's not for today. So this drawer is entitled Almost All of the Screwdrivers That I've Ever Owned. Because... So, this is the one from a Civic, a later model Civic. So the symbols are a wee bit different, we'll compare them later, but basically you can see when you turn that, that's what's supposed to happen. And then you flash, or that's full beam, and flash there. And the old one I think is basically broken at the bottom, so we're just going to swap that out. It should just unscrew from here. Now that needs to be prized up. So see in there. There we go. That's it. So you see that little pin there? That engages in there, but I have a funny feeling the later Civic is different. Silicone grease in there, because basically see when you turn that, that's what's activating the indicator. When you put the indicator on, that comes out, and then as you turn the steering wheel, see those little things? Hits that and deactivates it. If we actually try it. So see there, that tab comes out, and when you turn left it goes, and then when you turn right again, it disengages it. So I don't know if my Civic is like that, and that's what I'm hoping. If not, then I don't think I can use this. So first thing we need to do is get the old one out. We're going to take these two plastic pieces off around the steering column. Can you see these two screws here? You have to come underneath. See there and there?
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to take off first. Okay, and then we'll pull him down. That's the steering adjuster. Take the key out probably too. 2. That's just the fuse cover. Because I think, yeah, look, there's another screw there, see it? So there's 3 in total. Oh. Right, now. So I have to be careful I don't break something. So that's just a wee plastic tab. So the key barrel, there's a wee rubber. So I just took that rubber grommet off this side. There we go. They're just wee clips, but this thing's 32 years old, so no, maybe it's just out of place. So 30-year-old plastic. Just have to be a bit more gentle. Okay, good. So you can see those tabs. They just clipped. Now what happened there was this spring came off. But I don't know why. I don't know why the clock spring came off the steering wheel. Maybe we can push it back in. We might have to take the steering wheel off after all. So have a look in here. You'll see there's the wee switch, the 2 screws. The nice thing about old cars, Jordan, there's always wee pockets and things, dead space. New cars don't have that kind of thing because they always want to put something cool or whatever, but see, so handy to put screws in. Just feeling for wee tabs. Jordan, see that tab?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So that tab there,
Yeah.
just have to push that in. But this one is the tab up there. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's that unplugged. Let's go back in here. There's that wee tab. Let's see if you can pull the switch. You got it?
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Is there another plug?
No.
No. There we go. And if you look, let's take it out when there's more light, but it looks pretty damn similar. The old one, look how much grease is on that. And you can see quite clearly now where that broke. That's not meant to do that. So if we just look, that's from a 1990 Civic, and the new one I bought's from a 1993, so that's the later model. That's a Civic 5 and it's a Civic 4, but if you look, so look, part numbers the same. Yo, look, HMTS13T. Sweet, can't believe that. Different number there, but it's made by the same company, Tech, whoever that is. Hey, look, Jordan, even the plugs, the same terminals. So what we have to do next is, before we screw this all together, we'll check the function. We'll basically plug it in into the car with it lying out, and then we'll we'll see if the indicator works. But feel this, feel that. Can you do it two-handed? Right. You know, as if you're doing your indicator. Just feel that, right? Okay. And then compare it to that one.
Yeah.
It's all bleh. It just feels all yuck. So the only other thing I can see is different is the writing. It's very slightly different, just the indicators in a different place, but you can see how much more worn that is. Look at the writing.
Yeah.
But everything else It looks exactly the same. Plug in the switches first. It should be okay. Okay, so the top plug went in okay. And I think the bottom plug did too. Okay. So let's just see, does it slide in? That looks good. Okay. Alright, so what we'll do now is just plug the battery in.
Check if it works with the steering.
Huh?
Check if it works if you put
Oh
it
yeah,
down.
good idea. Hey! Sweet! So now we check the electricals. So I just need to plug the battery in. So I'm just gonna set this on, Jordan, because that'll be enough just to check. But you can't drive like that. Side lights, main lights, don't be.
Yep.
Okay, let's check.
Yep.
Left indicator,
Yep.
right indicator. Switch is working. Oh, here we go again. Just unplugging the battery. Do the rest of the work. Okay, let's get these switches now properly screwed in. So I'm using the newer screws. Okay. You remember we found this clip and I thought I'd broken something? Well, actually I don't think I have. It seems to be, I didn't know it was there. Obviously that's why it sounded like it broke. There's a small groove just in there. And that basically clips on there, and that holds this half of the coil together. So, first of all, I think I'll set the top piece in. Just sits there, and then the bottom piece. Right, so I just had to loosen that to get this grommet in. Right, now let's clip the top together. Is that? See that side?
It's not right.
Is it clipped in now? Yeah, see that ring? Stops that coming off. So the question now is whether we put that ring in or not. I think to get that in properly we have to take the steering wheel off. Now I can see it. Is it in line there, or is it gone off now?
No, that's off now.
Alright. Tell me when it's...
It's the top that's off. It's in the thingy.
Is that it?
Oh,
come on. Do that on the camera. Keep the light there, Jordan, so you can see it. Tell me, is that holding it in place?
yeah. It's the top.
If I use the screwdriver to hold that, it's just holding the top coil onto the bottom, but the clips are all in, so the tabs. Alright, I think I'm just gonna... Yeah, we can live without this ring, I think. But what I'll do is, next time, or anytime I have the steering wheel off, we'll put that in. Because of the steering wheel off, you can just slip it on, Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
So, or just throw it away. So there was a subtle difference between the stalks that I didn't notice until I fitted it. On the original one, this is basically a plain edge, but on the replacement one there was a flange, and obviously that fits into the new style cowl. But I just used a Stanley knife and trimmed some of the edges off, so now they look a bit more similar. But you can see on this one, actually, there has been a bit more work done to the design, so it's a bit stronger here. The old one, it broke at that stress point. The new old one, you can see there's basically a rib, like a stress rib, to stop that happening. So I didn't actually trim any of the rib itself, just the edging. So this little contact on the switch actually has a purpose that I didn't realize until we took the steering wheel off, and that's for this little horn spring. This copper connection will need to be slid onto here properly. When I fitted this earlier, it was actually just resting because I had slid this into the steering column. This was just resting. So taking the steering wheel off, we were able to actually access this, and I realized that the horn wasn't working properly because the angle of the dangle wasn't correct. So I was able to clean the back of the steering wheel, so this will contact the groove, and as you turn the steering wheel you have constant electrical contact, and that's what drives the horn. So let's go and see what that looks like on the car. Looking from underneath, there's the contact, the electrical terminal, and we should just be able to push that up into place like so. And on the front side there's a little tab as well, so obviously that's what connects the steering wheel to the horn, and that's just held in with another one of those screws. Now looking at the side, when the steering wheel's fitted here, it's going to push against that little contact, and that gives the connection for the horn. I lost my cameraman for the last couple of hours, but as you remember, the whole thing was back together, and then discovered that the horn wasn't working, and it was all down to this little copper spring which I showed you earlier. So I've reshaped this back, and we'll just bend it back. The idea is then the copper spring runs, see the way there's like a groove there? That's 32 years of driving. So I cleaned all that up, and then when we put the steering wheel back on, that should connect. But I took the opportunity, I took everything out again, and I greased up, put some silicone in the mechanism. It's running much nicer. So what we can do now is put everything back, put the cowl back in, and then Jordan, I think, will be able to put the spring on, because now we're not trying to fight with this, it's right in front of us. Getting the steering wheel off was really easy, just using the impact gun, and the screw came right off. 19 mil screw came right off, and the steering wheel just lifted right off. There was no issue at all. And I also greased up this ring. This ring is what deactivates, so if you put the indicator on and then you're turning your steering wheel, that's what actually deactivates the mechanism. So that's all nicely siliconed up as well. Where's my screwdriver? I don't know why I do Scottish accent. So look how much easier it is to work with no steering wheel. Remember what we were doing earlier, and then I think with us messing around with that ring, we bent that little contact.
Yeah.
But that's all that's holding or making the horn work. So what I said earlier about doing this without taking the steering wheel off, don't do what I did. And it'll be much easier, I hope, to yeah, I see when we were putting this in, I think we hit that, you know, when I was messing around with this, because I couldn't get it in properly. see how much easier that is. Right. So I think I'll put some of the screws in. Definitely far easier to do this to the steering wheel. Out of the way. I think I know why the indicator stalk broke and you know this side was fine, because when you're driving you're using that way more than you're using that. Okay, that's in the lower position. Now I think we can find a much easier way to put that spring in, or that clip. You can see how much easier it is now to work with this with the steering wheel out of the way. Right, so instead of us making an absolute mess of that clip, now well, that was a bit easier. And now that's, so whenever I took that top cowl off, you remember I heard a ping? It was that. What's the moral of the story today, Jordan? Do things right the first time.
I guess.
What I have to do is also make sure, see those slots? There's like a slot running through. That engages those two little square keys. And that's how that turns. So I always thought the steering wheel was a bit funny in this car. It wasn't really straight. It always, so I'm gonna just go, no, I'm gonna keep it the way it was. But the impact gun took it right off, no problem at all. It just went. Just wish you were there to see it. Let's connect the battery and then see what happens. Is the key in?
No.
Okay, first of all, do you want to try the horn?
Okay.
Okay, I thought you would need the key for it. Oh,
It's not on.
I don't have power. What the heck?
You haven't turned the thing on.
Yeah, the light's still on without power. Oh no. Oh, okay. Apparently I didn't put the battery connection in properly.
Oh.
I haven't screwed it on, you see, I just temporarily put it in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, try the horn, you try the horn, I wanted you to try it.
We have success.
What was also happening was when I was turning the wheel, it worked in this position, and then it didn't work in, it wasn't working in any of the other positions because that spring. Okay, fixed it.
There.
So now we can tighten everything, but I'm going to disconnect the battery because that's really frightening. So I think, you know what, Jordan? It's time to go in and get a beer. Because stupid things like not connecting the battery properly and now not being able to get this in for some reason. Alright. So. Okay, and then I need a new one of these. This is starting to go a bit funny, but okay, so have a look. Any screws left over? Just the 3 screwdrivers, impact. Look, you want to come see? That's now not hitting. Remember the new one had a flange? And now it's nice and clear because I trimmed that bit of the edge. Just have to put the fuse cover back, Jordan. I keep saying your name, but I'm actually filming this for YouTube, so unless everybody on YouTube's called Jordan, it's not going to make any sense. So just the fuse cover, can you see it from there?
Yeah.
That just clips in. wires all look good. There we go. Oakley dokley. Yeah, I can see where that clip's now sitting properly.
Good.
There's that clip now properly positioned. Okay. Now we can move on to the next job. So this caliper has been sticking for quite some time. You can see it's actually completely locked, this wheel, which probably means the piston inside the caliper is stuck. So we've bought a new caliper rebuild kit. The back calipers aren't sticky despite the rust that's on this disc. And we're going to rebuild the rear calipers as well. Again, those brakes are not sticky. You can see that brake's not sticking either. If we're rebuilding one caliper, we might as well rebuild them all. If they're the same age as the car, they're 32 years old. So I think they've done enough. So let's get this brake fluid out first so that we don't make more mess.